What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today I'm super excited to bring you guys some information about both of the next generation consoles, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So recently we really haven't heard much. It's been pretty quiet. I mean, we had the reveal events for both consoles and then E3, and that was a crazy time period, you know, like a crazy 3 weeks or so, but then it really quieted down up until a couple of days ago. We got some new information, and I think that's all about to change. Like, we're getting pretty close to November now. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more interviews, a lot more videos, and maybe even advertisements on YouTube and on TV. So it should be pretty good, and I can't wait to see how these two companies battle it out for, you know, the gaming industry's dollars this November. But anyway, let's get straight into it. So let's start off on the PS4 side of things. The PlayStation Nation, and a lot of you guys are Team PS4 right now, so we've got two pieces of very, very good information about the PS4. Number one is they've announced that PS3 wireless headsets will be compatible with the PlayStation 4. So if you currently have a PS3 and you have one of those Bluetooth wireless headsets, you are not going to need to buy a new one for the PS4. It will work on it, and that is a very, very good thing. We're not really sure how the compatibility is going to work with the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, so that's definitely a little bit nerve-wracking for quite a few people. So you PlayStation guys are looking pretty good there. Now, another good piece of information in the headset department is the fact that the PS4 will ship with a mono headset. Now, it's not going to be a super good headset. It probably won't be very comfortable or anything like that, but at least it's shipping with a headset in the box. That's something they did wrong with the PS3, and that's something the Xbox or Microsoft did right with the Xbox 360. When you ship your box with a headset, it kind of promotes the social aspect and the talking aspect and things, and because the PS3 didn't have one, that's why you don't see many people with mics on the PS3, and it's kind of frustrating, and you know, not being able to talk to your teammates and stuff is a bad thing. But with the PS4, that problem's going to be fixed. You're going to see a lot more microphones on the PlayStation Network, so that's definitely a good thing or a bad thing. it kind of comes with both. So that, but overall, that is a good thing. Now, the second major good piece of information that we got about the PS4 has to do with the built-in capture card, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be very interested in this. So what we got is it's been officially announced that the PlayStation 4 will be able to record up to 15 minutes of gameplay, whereas the Xbox One will only be able to record up to 5 minutes. Wow, that is an enormous difference. It's not only 3 times more. That's not really the big deal here. It's the fact that, you know, recording 15 minutes versus 5 minutes in terms of gameplay. Like, in a Call of Duty game, the average game is like anywhere from 7 to 12 minutes, depending on what you're playing. So if you're playing on the Xbox One, you aren't even going to be able to record the whole thing, which is crazy. Or if you're planning on doing Let's Plays, you know, a lot of Let's Plays, people want it over 10 minutes long. You can't do that on the Xbox One. So that's definitely a major advantage in Sony's court. Now, I will say to you guys, before you guys get all excited, if you're planning on being a YouTuber and starting a YouTube channel, I wouldn't really count on the built-in capture card in either of these systems. You're going to be better off getting an external capture card or an internal PC capture card to automatically have the file on your PC ready to go into Vegas or whatever editing program you use and things like that. Like, the workflow is just going to be a lot better. But in terms of if you want to share gameplay with a friend, or if you weren't recording and you want to save, you know, a gameplay of Call of Duty that you played or something like that, the PlayStation 4 is definitely going to have the advantage. Now, one thing they did mention about the Xbox's recording capabilities that I liked is there's going to be a feature where you can say Xbox record that, and it will automatically save the last 30 seconds of footage. Now, this is going to be pretty cool, especially for Call of Duty players and montage makers and things like that, because if you get a quad feed or a crazy phase trick shot, or, you know, something like that, rather than having to write down where it is in the gameplay, like 7 minutes 23 seconds, and having to go back and go to that part, then you can just say Xbox record that. It'll automatically save it. Then after the game, you can go back to it, play it, and record over it, or you can export it to YouTube or anything like that. So that is a cool feature, but overall, the PlayStation 4's built-in capture card is much, much better, because again, you can record for 15 minutes versus Xbox One's 5 minutes. Now, I'm sure they will add in things where you can pay like a, you know, a flat fee or a monthly fee where you can have more storage and be able to record more, or, you know, something like that. They seem to always do that in like Halo Forge and things like that. But, you know, I don't know about that yet. But out of the box, PlayStation 4 has a better capture card than Xbox One, point blank. So there you guys have it. Definitely a good thing for PS4. Now, switching over to the Xbox side of things, the Xbox One also has some new features that have been announced in the last couple of days that are pretty cool as well. So first and foremost, there's going to be a new achievement system that's been overhauled and had a lot of new things added to it. So one of the major differences is the fact that achievements are now tied to the cloud, which is basically like the internet, and not to the game. So currently, when a game is shipped, it has achievements on it, and those achievements are kind of locked in. They can't really be changed. They can only be added if you add in DLC, which is a long process, and a lot of games won't do that just for achievements. So really, once the game shipped, that's the achievements. Those aren't going to change. But now, since they're tied to the internet and not to the game disc, developers can change them at any time they want. They can add, remove, change. Maybe one is way too hard to get, so they make it less difficult to get. They can, kind of edit them based off of user feedback. They can hold contests where the players can create achievements for the games, and they can just really add them in at any point they want, even on older games. So, like, maybe they could have a throwback Call of Duty achievement where you have to go back and play 10 games of TDM on COD 4 in order to get it. That would be pretty cool. So, there are a lot of different things they can do with this. I'm sure the devs will get creative with it, and it should be a pretty cool thing added in if you like chasing achievements like I do. So that should be pretty cool. Now, apart from achievements, they're also adding in things called challenges, and these things are unlike an achievement, where an achievement is a little bit more of like a personal, based off of how you play and what you achieve. It's more of like a social and a community thing. So it's over all of Xbox Live over a certain time period. And Microsoft actually gave an example at their Comic-Con booth. They said, what if we had a headshot weekend where all of Xbox Live had to get 1 million headshots in the course of 3 days, and they could limit it to only on one game, so it could only be in Call of Duty Ghosts, or it could be over all first-person shooters. It could be a whole genre, or it could be over all games by Activision, or all games by EA, or something like that. So that would be pretty cool. And these challenges aren't going to add gamer score to your profile, like achievements will, but they will give you like virtual medals and virtual emblems and things like that. So it's another thing that it doesn't really give you anything, monetary wise. It's really no value to it, but it's fun to mix up your gameplay and have something to chase after if you're bored of playing the game regularly. So that should be pretty cool. Now, finally, because, again, both of these achievements and the challenges are tied to the cloud, that's going to allow developers to give us more valuable rewards for achieving them. So rather than only getting gamer score or only getting a virtual emblem, they're also going to add in things like avatar gear if you do a certain achievement or challenge, digital artwork, new maps, unlockable characters, temporary stat boosts, things like that. So really the achievements and challenges, instead of only being a number or only being like a virtual image on your profile, you can actually get rewarding stuff for it if you deserve it. So again, that's something the developers can get creative with, and I think we'll add some cool and unique gameplay to games in the next generation consoles. Now, next up, the next improvement that they have for the Xbox One and Xbox Live is they're improving the reputation system. So if you guys don't know, there actually is a reputation system on Xbox Live right now, but it really doesn't play that big of a role. I mean, if enough people report somebody for like bad language or bad game behavior, it will kick them off for 24 hours or so. But other than that, it really, people don't really pay attention to it. Games don't punish you for it. It's really not that important, and it seems like Microsoft is trying to change that. So Michael Dunn, who works for Xbox Live, kind of talked about this on one of Major Nelson's blog posts. He gave us this image so you can see the new Xbox Live and the new Xbox One will kind of label you as a good player, a needs improvement player, or an avoid me player. And this is based off of both, player reviews, so if somebody submits a review on you, which again doesn't happen sometimes, but also it's based off of how often you're muted in game, or how often you team kill, or how often you drive backwards in Forza, or things like that. So not only when people submit reviews, but also when you're annoying or you do bad things in game, it'll kind of hurt your reputation or improve your reputation based off of what you're doing. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then he also said that the games are going to be able to recognize this and use this. So if a game tells that you're a constant team killer, maybe it won't let you join a lobby. Or if it tells that you constantly turn around and drive backwards in Forza, maybe it won't let you play on that map or play with that car, whatever it may be. It's going to be able to ding you in some way if the developer wants to do that. So I don't know, this could be useful, it could not be useful. I saw the article, I found it interesting, but I have a feeling it might be kind of useless, just like the current reputation system is, but we'll just have to wait and see if they actually make use of that or not. But finally, the last improvement about the Xbox One that I wanted to mention to you guys is they gave us some information about controller recognition at Comic-Con. And this is another minor thing, but it's actually really, really cool. And they had this quote, so it's right here. It says, the controllers automatically recognize who is holding the controller through the camera, so that's through the Kinect camera. When the controller is passed from player to player, the games automatically load individual controller profiles for that player. Now passing controllers around during a game won't require you to back out to the options menu and change look inversions. So, you know, again, that's not really the most special thing in the world, but it is pretty cool. You know, now when you hand a controller to your friend to play, you aren't going to need to change the sensitivity and the controller button layout, you know, things like that. So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. I wanted to mention to you guys, although it's not the biggest piece of news. So, anyway, there you guys have it. That is all the new information that I have about both of these new consoles. I will keep you guys updated with more information as it comes out. And thank you guys so much for watching. So I'll catch you all later. Thank you all for watching. Check out one of the other two videos on the screen if you haven't seen them yet. Peace out, guys.